My name's Chris.
And I'm William.
We're here to talk about this decade's most scariest horror movies, and that's from the year 2000 to 2010. Number 10 was Darkness Falls. I've chosen Darkness Falls because of reasons, because you have the Tooth Fairy, and it wasn't too scary, but there were some parts in there where the fact that the Tooth Fairy killed his mom, and then he was scared for his life. Like, he didn't have cabinets on his thing, and he had spotlights in his yard. It was a good movie, and the ending was cool because he killed the Tooth Fairy, and the whole Tooth Fairy mythology in that was just pretty cool. Number 9, we chose
The Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman. Boogeyman. It's almost like Darkness Falls. It has pretty much the same thing, where Darkness Falls was about the Tooth Fairy. Well, this is about the Boogeyman. It's almost the same thing, because this boy, his dad was killed by the Boogeyman, and then like in Darkness Falls, his mom was killed by the Boogeyman, or killed by the Tooth Fairy. So it's kind of like the same type of movie, almost exactly the same, but what made this one a little better is in certain parts, there'd be like the father would throw him in the closet, and he'd have to count like himself to where he's not scared anymore, and that was kind of cool. And plus, if you have like the DVD version, it has different endings which you could see, and some of the endings were really cool. And we have chosen for number 8, we chose Final Destination. And why we chose Final Destination was because not only did it have a series of its own after, but it was different. Because like in Final Destination, it wasn't someone trying to kill you. It was just some force of like nothingness. That's what it was. It was nothing, and you just died because of some random little events. I mean,
But how it all started out, it was just pretty much like a whole bunch of teenagers going to the airport to go fly to Paris.
yeah, on a school field trip. I mean, that's what it was.
Yeah. But however, there's a little plane problem, and the plane blew up in midair.
After a boy seen the plane going to explode, and he got a few of his peers off the plane with a teacher of theirs. And then the rest of the movie was them learning that you can't cheat death. I mean, that's the ultimate message in the movie.
Pretty much, you can never cheat death.
Either way, you're going to fucking die. That's just how it is. It did have some cool kills, like the teacher in the house. I mean, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, it was like watching Looney Tunes, just random stuff happening at this moment, like the computer exploding and the trail of fire around her and the knives. It was just pretty cool. But it wasn't a bad movie. The sequels got worse, if you ask me. It's a matter of opinion, but the first one is probably the best.
Yeah.
And what we chose for number
7 was Saw.
Yeah. And Saw came out shortly before the movie Hostel, and it started the whole torture franchise, but it had its own little moral message. Even though you're in these devices that will kill your ass, I mean, that's not to kill you. I mean, he doesn't want to kill you. He wants to make you stronger so you can survive life. That's the whole message. It's the strong. Like, the stronger you are, the better you are. I mean, that's the whole point of the movie.
Yeah. It's pretty much a live or die decision. You gotta make some sacrifices in order to survive.
Yeah, you can cut off your arm and live, or cut off your foot and live. It's the first one, like the series, it went off on its own series, and it's had up to 6 sequels after it. And I mean, the same guy from the first one who cut off his leg survived until the 7th one. I mean, that's pretty cool. And you have to admit, we went to theaters to see 7, and it was pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I mean, the ending, it was kind of cool because, you know, he took off the mask and it was a doctor from the first film.
Yeah.
I mean, who really expected that? And the sequels I didn't like them as much as the first, but just the fact that the doctor was from 1 and you didn't see him all the way till 7 was kind of cool. But we're not here to speak about the sequels or the 7th one. We're here about the first one, and Saw 1 was a good film. after that, we chose Jeepers Creepers as number
6.
And we chose Jeepers Creepers because it was different. I mean, you don't really know what he is, if you could call him a he. I mean, it's more of an it. You don't really know what it is. You think it's a demon, because, I mean, that's what it looks like. I mean, a demon.
It looks pretty much like a bat from hell.
I know, it has wings, and it flies, but also drives a fucking truck. Man, woo! But what made it different is that it don't die. I mean, you have, like, Jason and Michael Myers, and they start out as humans. Well, I mean, this was a monster from the start. He just won't die. I mean, look at all the stuff he goes through in the first one. He got ran over by the girl's car. He had to limp his way to the police station after driving a Mack truck there, and then eat people to survive. I mean, that's what he did. He ate people to survive. But the thing was, he comes back every 23 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's every 23 years that he has to feed. So it's not like a constant with him. So he eats some people, and then he leaves. So, you know.
Pretty much, especially the ending. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, the ending was good, especially where part at the end where you see him, and he takes the girl's brother and flies away with him, and then you see the brother's skin hanging, and you see him go behind the skin, and you see his eyes. I mean, plus it's playing Jeepers Creepers song, and that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
What we chose for number 5 is
Feast.
And Feast is a interesting case. You might not say it was that good of a movie, but it was good. I mean, it was. Like, it was more of a comedy than a horror. It combined dark comedy, very dark, with horror aspects. And it weren't killers, and it wasn't mythological monsters. It was actual, like, monsters. I mean, they came from the desert to eat your ass. That's what it was. But even though they added in, like, a comic kind of experience, because, like, you had your hero, and his life expectancy was out of the roof. I mean, he was supposed to live before everybody else, but he was the first to get eaten. I mean, it didn't follow any rules, and it didn't matter who you were, you died. Just for the fact that in one of the scenes, the monster comes through the window and eats a little boy. Now, I mean, this makes me look like an asshole, but I did laugh at that because it's different. I mean, not many movies do you get to see a little boy get eaten by a monster. But that's what made the movie good, is it pushes boundaries. And each sequel pushed even more boundaries, because in Feast 2, I mean, he throws a baby up in there, and it comes down, and it hits the concrete and dies, and then gets eaten by a monster. I mean, each one pushed more boundaries as they went along, but they were good movies. The end of the series was extremely unexpected. I mean, it was blown out of the water. It was interesting, to say the least.
What we have for number 4 is The Mist.
And The Mist is a very good movie based off a Stephen King short story. And what it's about is the son and the father go into the market to get food. Well, a mist comes over the whole town, and in the mist are these monsters. I mean, we got some fucked up monsters in this mist. You have monsters ranging from bugs to tentacly octopus things to Godzilla-sized monsters. And you don't really see them until you're really up close. But what made this different than most monsters movies is you have more than the monsters. You have the monsters in the mist outside, but then you have the people in the building with them. I mean, you have the fanatical Jesus woman who the store clerk shoots in the head, and you don't know whether to feel sorry for her, but let me tell you, when he shot her in the head, I really enjoyed it, and it was one of my favorite parts of the movie. But I have to say, the best part of The Mist was the end. A lot of people didn't like the end to The Mist, but I thought it was great. I mean, it was really depressing, and nobody really expected it. I mean, he shoots his son, 2 old people, and a girl in his car. And he does this manly scream in his car. And he tries to shoot himself, but he has no bullets. And he gets out of the car and he screams. And 5 seconds after that, the army rolls in and the mist disappears. I mean, it just sends your gut into a burst. I mean, the ending is just awesome.
It's one of the best endings I ever
It
seen.
is. It's an amazing ending. And a lot of people won't agree, but I think it's a good ending.
For number 3, we have The Strangers.
The Strangers has no gore. It doesn't rely on, like, cheap thrills. Well, the best thing about The Strangers is it's 3 human beings, and they just do stuff to creep out these 2 people. I mean, that's what it was. They'd knock on a window, or they'd appear in their house and stand there. But the thing was, it was different, because we're Jason and Michael Myers, going back to that. If you seen the killer, you'd have some noise. Like, you know, Jason, you hear, well, in The Strangers, when you seen the killer standing in the hallway behind Liv Tyler's character, I mean, there was no, like, music to introduce him in the hallway. He was just there. And he just stood there. He didn't say a word. They didn't talk through the whole movie till the end. And just like The Mist, this one had a really good end. And the reason they said why they did it, the girl goes, because you're home. That's a good reason.
You're just home.
I mean, yeah. And that creeped you out, because you're like, well, I'm home. He's home right now. And it could happen. I mean, that's the thing. The Strangers could really happen. Yeah, it's not like The Mist and Feast where they're monsters. It's 3 human beings terrorizing. That could really happen. It's crime. That's what it is.
For number 2, we have The Descent.
The Descent was a very good movie due to the fact that it was a bunch of women and they go into a cave. And nobody knew about the cave. I mean, it was completely unexplored, and they had enough balls to go into this cave that no one had ever heard of, or, you know, Juno just found it. I mean, that's what it was. They found it.
Yeah.
Well, they're in the cave, and there's a cave-in, and they got stuck.
And since they got stuck, they had to find their way out of the cave. But what they didn't know is that there's creatures.
Butt ugly creatures. I mean, they were fucking hideous, but that's not the point. I mean, these are creatures, but they're not just really creatures. I mean, they're human beings. I mean, they survived by eating other pigs that were in there, and bugs, and snakes and shit. I mean, you ain't fucking around.
And pretty much, the ending, which was one woman mainly survived, going through hell, pretty much.
And what's funny is during these scenes, each woman grows stronger and stronger, and then at the end you only have 2 women left. I mean, you have Juno, and then you have Sarah, 2 of the girls, and what Sarah finds out is not only did her husband and the daughter die at the beginning of the movie, well, Juno, her best friend, the one that took her to the cave, is having an affair with her husband. Well, Sarah just doesn't care anymore because monsters are trying to kill her ass. You know, her daughter, and husband died like a week before that. So you have all this built-up tension and all this anger, and that's what she does. She just explodes. And what she does is she puts a fucking pickaxe through Juno's leg and sticks, and Juno's just trapped in the cave. Well, Sarah gets out of the cave, so we thought.
Yeah, so we thought. But however, it was pretty much, she was only daydreaming about it.
Yeah, and the very end of the movie is her sitting there in the cave, staring down at an imaginary cake. I mean, that's what it was. At the end of Descent 1, that's what it was. Technically, she didn't escape.
For number 1, you better get ready for this. It's going to be...
Number 1 is an amazing choice, and we hope you enjoy it.
We want you to decide what's
Yep.
number 1.
We want you to email us on our Facebook pages what you decide number 1 is. You can say whatever it is. If you don't even like our list, you can tell us. If you want Descent to be number 1, you can tell us that. You can tell us any movie from 2000 all the way to 2010. You decide, America. You decide what the best horror movie of the past 10 years was.